doing now, even though you're still making improvements, and get started on. By the time they finally get going here, you know, another year will have passed. And I understand, Douglas, that you want a public safety complex, but that is far more, that's going to take quite a bit of doing to do.
Real life? Okay.
And we did try that in the past and walked into a stone wall in the courts with it. So I think that's admirable, but that's not going to happen for at least 5 years. So I think if you invest the money in this building now, and you can do it for $5 or $6 or $7 million, hopefully $6, and you've already done some of the work that's going to be taken off the bill, because that would, you know, that's the estimate. You might find out that the price is not even reasonable, so you don't want to do a renovation. But you do have a fiduciary responsibility to investigate all avenues. And this wasn't ever reviewed by the MBITF.
But my point is...
And they have been on record as saying that Mr. Vadney, the chair, stood at this podium and said it at a council meeting in 2021. There was never a problem with the plans by Studio Major. The issue was the money. If we had had the money, it would have been done by now. That's exactly what he said as a quote. So I don't want to hear that about this. And Studio Major, by the way, is under contract with Mr. Chamberlain's company doing work for them. So this is only just to have them come in and bring everybody up to date to what was going to happen. And then, as I said, when you can get their report and their findings, go out and hire yourself another architect if you want to.
I don't disagree with some of the stuff on here, like hiring an accounting firm if we don't have the talent in-house and stuff like that. But the point I was just trying to make was, if we're going to hire somebody to look at the 2016 plans and we go that route, because Eric Army has never designed a public safety, police station, et cetera, wouldn't you want somebody to also look at that and just point it out? I mean, you wouldn't hire a consultant who had no experience in IT to run IT.
Can I answer
You know,
that?
I just think we're I don't want us to have blinders on because and get caught in a situation where maybe we did miss something, where maybe we built it and it came out fine, but then 2 years down the road, we're like, oh, well, we should have thought of this. And that's all I'm thinking, because then it's going to cost money to fix.
Yeah.
Add another step to the charge for the building committee and ask them to identify in Eric Army's plans what items don't meet the current standards. I mean, you don't have to meet the current standards when you do a renovation. Building new, you do. But that could be a charge of the committee.
But there's a threshold, though.
That could be a charge of the committee to review the plans and identify what standards aren't being met.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I guess one of the things that we need to discuss, and we need to figure out, do we want to do a building committee, right? Are we able to continue the way we're doing it as the building committee? Do you feel comfortable doing that? Is it taking up too much time? Do you think we're not focusing enough on the things that we need to do to get things moving a little faster?
Well, I think it's a great question, Paula, but I think
I don't know.
the fact that, just look at tonight, the little decision, we didn't make a big decision tonight, but the little decision tonight would have been 2 weeks in the works. If we had a committee, they have to get, the committee would have to come to the council would have to then approve it. We made a decision like that.
Yeah, I have to agree, John. I mean, as much as, you know, it's probably better to have a committee, but we've done so much in like the last, since the beginning of since November, right? When everyone resigned, since November, we've been moving right along, and I'm gonna stand by it. It's the most work we've seen done to the police station in years. And I think we have to continue at least getting the building to a point that it's airtight and there's no more leaks and we're in a good spot. And then from there, at least we can, yes, and then we can start looking at plans, what we're gonna do. But I think the important thing is getting the building to stop deteriorating, getting it dry, so we can get in there and at least clean up some ceiling tiles and do some other remediation work inside. And then it gives us some time to move forward. I mean, right now, we're just giving ourselves time so that, you know, the police are in a safe building. It's not gonna fall, because everyone was saying, oh, it's gonna fall, it's gonna fall. And, you know, everyone was believing that, and now we find out that it really wasn't as bad as it was said. Yes, it needs repairs, but it had also been left to its own for years. So we're getting to that point that now it's gonna give us a little bit of time to look at some plans. Yes, we have plans we can look at, and yes, we will look at them, but to jump into a decision like in 10 minutes, that one's not going to be a quick decision.
Oh, no, I don't think we should do that either. But I'm just thinking, is it worth looking? I mean, the fact that this chief sitting in front of us walked like day after day after day after day and gave his opinion. So it's not like they did it on their own and then they're shoving it down our throat. This was a cooperative thing. So
right.
should we look at that to see, are there things that we could do more immediately than later? To
Absolutely,
try to make it better for them right now?
absolutely, because like we were talking the other day, like you have that whole wing that you really don't use, so if we could start maybe doing, and I see that,
The smile.
Can I talk? I just want to.
yeah, go ahead.
So, the reason why I brought up the architectural drawings of Studio Major was they were the only company that went as far as walking through the building.
Right.
I walked with engineers, structural engineers, the architect, the designers, and they created a print with our advice to the flow of a building being renovated into a police department, okay? The preparation for a renovation is totally on the police department finding prisoners to house, officers to relocate, and the overall coordination with whoever the general contractor was going to be to build it. Studio Major was the architect. They created it, but we never got to the plan that the company that was actually going to renovate it. They started here first. And the reason why nothing was done there is because there was no money to do anything there because the money was being spent here. With that said, if you take that plan that Studio Major gave you and you just put your feelers out to say, what would it cost for a renovation? As I said, the very first meeting with the council as the building committee is, it's about square footage. It's what it costs right now to build or renovate that building, the cost of square footage, and you're gonna be surprised at how much it's gonna be. The second thing is, the contingencies written into the project. It was about 5% with Techtown. It was very high. And even Mr. Chamberlain said, why is it so high? You're making the numbers so big, the voters won't vote for if it's that big. Was they wanted to cover themselves to make sure the bond never ran out. So you have the cost of square footage, you have contingencies written into the project. Those are two very important things. The third thing, in which Mr. Ogier brought up, which I brought up at the very first meeting, the contractor that builds the building should be very familiar with police stations because of what goes in it, the FFE, a total, complete bid package, everything. From the dispatch council, the quote now for a top-end dispatch council is $370,000, Burrill's getting one. The low end, I had somebody just today at the station come in and try to upgrade ours from its 80 technology, and it's in the realm, I believe, of 50 to 100,000. So those are the three things that, if you were going to renovate, if you were going to, because you do have a plan. I agree with Mike, you have the plan, but it's not the plan that's being bid on at this day and age. That's why everything was so expensive, is because the climate we're in, not so much. This isn't 2015 anymore. I mean, think about it. So the design of that building was a renovate of a school building into the best possible police building, okay? It's there, but I think it's all about square footage. So if someone goes back and looks at that building that builds police stations, they'll give you a great idea of how much per square foot, and you just do the math. It's not very, it's actually simple, in a way, so to speak. And I brought it up at the last meeting, if you looked around the state, North Kingstown, South Kingstown, Barrington, Lincoln, they all had projects and bonds going on. If you looked at the square footage prices within $100 to $150 a square foot, they were all over $600. So that's what it's going to cost. Now, as far as timing, you know how much time this takes. I mean, from the discussions to, I need a packet, we've postponed this for months with meetings on information and papers and communication. So my suggestion for the town council is, if you were going to have a building committee and be the building committee, maybe you may want to add 2 other people that are in the industry that can give you up-to-date advice as to this, I build buildings, this is what it costs, and this is probably what you're looking at, right? Because someone without that knowledge doesn't really know. So, and as far as the financial and the bond things, and I'm not against anything. I'm just giving you, you know, what I've been through, who I've spoken to, and there's a difference between architects and builders. So, there's a difference between bidding a project in 2016 and bidding one now, and it's no one's fault. Like, there's no greed, there's no cover-up, there's no, you can't have the minutes or you can't hear what I say. Every building committee I've worked with, and this is the fourth one, they've all had their heart and their head in the right place. But there was a perfect storm of events, a comedy of errors where they find asbestos, the jobs stop. There's a lot of challenges with renovating this building. And that's the other issue that you have. You're still gonna have challenges with renovating, if you do go that route with the current police station. And then you had COVID. Everyone forgets that. And now you're at the point where, you know, were there a lot of things breaking down at the department? Yeah, absolutely. Because nothing was done because there was no money provided to fix it. And no one had a plan, because the plan was always do this first, the town moves out, they move in here, and then when it came time to swing back to do work at the station, it was too late. Too much money was spent here, not enough preparation, the bid wasn't right, COVID hit, now we are where we are. So the thing about getting anything on a bond this election, everyone knows that that can't be done. As far as slowing down and kind of regrouping, I mean, that's fine. The amount of money, and I know Clifford had brought this up, to slow down, and I say the same thing, is like, okay, we don't want to replace so many windows and so many doors. We want to fix what's broken, and we are, and we have. And I'm very appreciative of that. But any demo or comprehensive plan for offices on that side of the building isn't really, we're fine where we are with what we have. We stop the water, this and that. So if it's a year or a year and a half moving forward to get a better plan or to get something that is, as I said, it's got to be a comprehensive plan, comprehensive renovation, something that's on paper, something that someone can bid on, something that RFP goes out, and something that's complete, that's all. So it's square footage, it's contingencies, it's, you know, a company that builds police departments. That's my suggestion. It was in the beginning, and it still stands.
All right, so we're on B. I don't know if we got anywhere, but,
Well, may I just make I mean, I would like to see something else done on the interior of that building. I don't care if it's new drop ceiling, I don't care if it's paint, I don't care if it's new floors in the dispatch like you had done, I don't care if it's a window that's falling out that we put, but I mean, I don't think we can say, let's just hang on another couple of years now and do nothing additionally other than the envelope. I think we owe it to them to do things, right? Whether we do a complete renovation or not, I can't live with myself, seriously. I've been doing this, I was involved in this back in 2010 and 11, 12, 13. I can't live with myself knowing that we're just gonna stop at the envelope and not do something interior. You know, new lighting needs to be done. I mean, if it's cosmetic, okay, maybe it's cosmetic and we spend, I don't know how much money. But to your point, maybe that slows it down a little so that we are at least providing them with a safe, clean, no tar falling down in the back of their shirts, you know, from renovation at this point. I mean, that's just one issue, right? You think the renovation of a roof caused problems. Can you imagine the renovation of a whole building? So we really have to have a good plan in place, and we do have plans that we can look at. And what I'm saying is not to go the whole renovation thing, but we have plans that are very detailed that the chief was able to be part of before, right? Can we just look at those plans, and if there's a room that, you know, we can do you know, plugs and new ceiling tiles and new this and new that, without having to do major demolition of the building or that room, can we provide them with those things? Because I mean, you've been in, I've been in, I don't like it.
I think-
I want it to be better.
I agree, but I think the first thing to focus on, Chief, tell me if I'm going wrong here, we took care of what the trust wanted to do as far as insuring the building. The next step, we should start identifying things that are gonna get us jammed up. Like that sally port and that walkway down there, someone's gonna pull a Dick Van Dyke and go right down that ramp one of
Okay,
these
well,
days.
well, those are good,
Right?
those are good.
Oh, the
Yeah.
cells, we gotta
Those
start
are good
concentrating
things,
on where
okay.
we're gonna get jammed up, where we're gonna possibly get sued.
Mhm.
All right, fix that stuff, and then start picking away at paint and lights and stuff like that. But the very next thing we should stop worrying about
Okay.
is where we're gonna get in trouble.
And I agree with you, but I think since we've been sitting on this committee, we asked for like a list so that
Oh,
we
yeah.
can start going down. So I think we need to have that priority list, because we don't have that. So,
That's true.
you know, okay, so what is your next top thing? Is it the cells? Is it the
The
ramp?
toilet.
Is
I did
it,
give a list, I don't know if you guys-
we didn't.
We never got it.
We never got
We
it. Like
never
a
got a
list of,
list.
so take out that list and whatever we've done, take off it, and then start from the top and
we'll
like,
start,
you know, even if it's all cosmetic stuff, so then we can maybe put out a bid and have, you know, a general contractor or
yeah.
something in the winter and say, okay, so we're gonna paint, the floors just need to be sanded and redone. So it's stuff that's feasible that we can do and at least make the building look better, and it makes you guys feel better, you know, like,
Right,
and you know, we keep saying it, and I feel bad for these people, but we have grant writers now, so, you know, are there grants out there for the dispatchers areas, you know, like, you know, we just came out one with training. Maybe there's something for, you know, the IT part of it, you know, like, we just have to like really be on top of this stuff. Maybe there's stuff for furniture. You know, there's plenty of police stations out there. You read that they got the furniture from a grant, they got some of their IT from a grant, they got their filing cabinets from a grant. I just think that now that we have these grant people, that we have to really let them know that the police is probably high on the list of trying to get us grants, so we can keep working on this building and get it to the best we can. And then it does give us time to go out for bond or whatever we're gonna do.
yeah. I think it's a good idea to look at the safety, the health and safety issues that are next, and like the president's saying, if we had a list from you, because we don't, I mean, that's what I'm saying about, we don't know, you know, do we add another person to our team, like the chief said, maybe somebody who's, you know, got more construction background, so that we expand it a little bit. But I think we have to look at those things too. I think that's really a good idea, to try to take
Well, I'll give you three
the
right off the bat.
worst things.
Asbestos, drop ceiling, and paint, like, that's already been asked for, and
But-
that's already it should be in the works.
But to whom was it asked? I'm not joking.
I've said
Did
it at
it-
the
was
very
it
first
me?
meeting, I said the asbestos abatement should be done, whether you demo the building, or we renovate it, or we stay in it.
Yeah.
Did anyone
But
ever get any
did-
quotes
did
on
we
that?
get-
It's in the bid, it's in both, it's in Tactons, it was in Studio Major, when they discovered it, yeah, it's been there forever.
We're
Drop
just-
ceilings, I already have an
Where
email
does it
to the
stop?
highway department to change the drop ceiling, because when the roof is not, right? Drop ceilings, yeah. I know, it's already, that's already in the works, so, yeah, and there's paint, so those three things right off the bat. And other than that, the 3 doors in the back.
Yeah,
I
but-
have the list.
Well, we need the list, chief, because, I mean, when you say paint,
And
I
I
don't
can't
know
just say, like-
where's
like-
paint? The
like the ci-
painting of what? The painting of the walls, or the painting? Wait,
I know, but then you need an RFP, and then
Well,
you, so it's
let's
more than
do
just
it.
like a list.
No, but I think we need it, right? We need
Yeah.
the
I
list.
still-
Then safety concerns, you can't just renovate the cell in Sallyport area without plans and.
Exactly, but if we know, then we can work with someone to get these
Right.
plans
The whole
going.
station needs to be renovated, that's.
Well, we're trying the best we can.
Sounds
with
like we
what
need a new
have.
building.
That's what you need,
I-
yeah, or.
I remember something that Jeff said a couple meetings ago when we started talking about this. Some of these decisions, we need to make a determination if we are gonna renovate or there is ever a chance of building new. Because some of these decisions, we don't wanna spend money on and then say, 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, we're gonna go build new, right? And then you just spent $1 million on stuff that you just literally just tore down. So I think we do have to pick that path at least, but I agree with fixing the critical things that need to continue to be fixed. But I think we have to pick that path so that we know that we're not gonna be redoing work down the line.
But, okay, so if we say we're gonna renovate, right, because we've had the mandate from the town saying that a new building at this time is not, you know, they don't have the appetite for it, right? Do we do nothing till then?
No, I don't think anybody has said
Well, that's
that.
what I'm saying. I think there are things that we need to do right away to bring up that building to a different level of,
Right, all I'm saying is we need a strategy, though. Just fixing things in
Right.
piecemeal is fine, but what are we ultimately gonna do with that building? And I think that's where we got stuck in the
Yeah.
last discussion, and we keep getting stuck in, is
Yeah.
it's either build new or renovate. I think we just need to pick that, end it, and then just figure out how we're gonna design it going
well, I
forward.
mean, I don't think,
Well, I think everyone's told us that they don't want a new building,
Yeah,
so
I
I
think
think
we-
renovation is what's in the
Yeah,
the
I
future
don't,
for us.
I
so-
never had an opinion either way, it didn't matter, but, I think I just remember Jeff saying that, what kind of door you put in, what kind of thing, like, these things matter, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we're all talking about how we have to keep replacing things and maintaining them, and, I just think we have to determine, okay, if we're gonna renovate, here's the plan from now until full renovation, however long that is, phased, et cetera.
oh, yeah.
But it should be detailed and out there so people know. I mean, I agree. I have no idea where these documents go, from lists to plans to et cetera. And I mean, it would be great to get them all. But I don't have anything.
Well, I mean, I think we've got something from an architect. We could start looking at it. We don't have to hire that architect. We don't have to, but we can at least look and see in a renovation phase what things are necessary for us to do, and then make some initial, some subsequent, upgrades to the building, and then, but the goal, I believe, right now, in the next few years, is a renovation, right? I mean, even if you're saying, like, even if it's phased, I don't think at next year they'd wanna put it on the ballot again.
I mean, I think
don't
that's what
know.
we've been
I don't
told,
know.
right? It's a renovation, and I think that's where we're starting, but, we can look at these drawings, we need a list so we can plan what we're gonna do next. Budget's coming up, we should start
This is
looking
the
at
time to
capital.
do it, yeah.
We just can't keep just saying, yes, stuff needs to be, we need to have a plan, and let's look at the plans we have, and let's work at what we can. I mean,
Did we get a balance of the bond money yet?
mhm,
Yeah.
it's like 500.
Okay. Well,
So, I guess we'll find out who has these plans. So we'll check with Anthony
with
and town
finance
clerk.
and town clerk, I guess, right?
And then Rebecca said she'd send us what she has.
Mhm.
You don't have a full set, right? No.
No, I really never thought or saw actual stamped plans that were contractor grade, that could be given a contractor to do.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, because we
That's
checked,
the one.
we checked with the planner yesterday, he didn't, so.
Yeah,
All right, so we'll check with the clerk and the finance director, because we checked with the planner and he didn't have them.
So if you have a square footage on those plans, you have an
Yeah.
industry standard for buildings, commercial buildings,
Yeah.
i.e. public safety buildings, you have a square footage, you can do the numbers yourself. and
Yeah.
multiply them.
Right.
right,
Gloucester just got plans, and they were $750 a square foot.
yeah, it's gonna be more expensive than it was before, that's
Yeah,
for
their
sure.
renovation of 9,300 square feet was $7 million.
Okay, well, that's good, at least we know. Should we consider adding someone to the MBRTF, and can we change that name?
Building.
The building committee,
The
the
building
BC, the BC,
Yeah, we can ask David to write up, to revise the resolution. I don't know, I don't know.
it's up, it's up to you, but I don't know anything about construction, so I just
I
wanna
don't know
make
if
sure.
we're at the point where we're ready to
Yeah, I
pick
don't,
somebody.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think we need to go through it a little
Okay,
bit more
good.
before.
That's a good thought then.
All right, so, Counselor discussion by council about other action on payment-related invoices, so that's gonna go into
Next meeting.
our next meeting, so we can basically just skip that one.
Okay.
And then, open forum. Mike, I think you wanna get up.
Oh, there's open forum?
Yeah.
I just want to say that I don't agree with doing it piecemeal and putting in, the chief mentioned cells. That's a major expense. That's probably the most expensive part of the station. So why would you replace those cells in an area where, if you are going to do a full renovation, they're not going to be located? Because they were being moved in Eric's plan. So there's, why would we put them back where they were? Because that's not a functional place to be in. That's why I'm saying, review the plans. And if you don't want to use ergonomic, don't. But we're going to end up paying someone more money than we should, because they're going to have to read the whole by bid document and study the plans before they can even say yes or no to a question. So, but I think, the other thing was, yeah, Jeff did say multiple times, and I think the chief said it too, before you do any more renovations, you need to make a decision. Are you going to renovate or are you going to build new? And I think you've got to make that decision. It's like kicking the can down the road. If you say you're going to renovate, I don't know why you couldn't continue to oversee small renovations that are going on now and allow the committee to begin on the research work. I want to know there's another leak, by the way, now. So I want to know, did we put a new roof on here? Now you got 2 leaks in here. And the wall over here is falling off. So, did they only skim coat, or did they paint, or didn't they even do anything with the old horsehair wall? That's what that committee could be doing. All this legwork that'll help you make a better decision.
That's a new wall. There was a stage there.
Well, it's
remember?
cracking, looking. Look at it.
Yeah, there was a stage there. Oh, that wall.
Yeah, that wall. So,
Oh, the stage was over there, but there
I
was
don't
like
see any
a
big
landing though,
harm
right?
in doing
Yeah.
2 things at one time. You can continue to work on the immediate repairs, and you can set up your committee to meet and come up with a report on all the questions that you need to have answered. And if you don't want to use ergonomic, don't. We'll just pay more money. But we spent, what have we spent so far on architects? Look at well, we don't even know that because there's no accounting in front of us or anything. But I know we spent, let me see, $200,000 on Secocia. I don't know what you spent on Tecton, and we spent 200 something on Eric, and we spent about 100,000 on RGB. So I'm sick of seeing you waste money on architect. If you can get it better, if you can just make part of the project more affordable, and then after you get your answers to your questions, go out and use a different architect. I don't care. But to have the architect who came up with the plans not justify or explain to you why he developed the plans the way he did, it doesn't make sense to me. Because maybe it'll make sense if you hear the whole thing in the committee. The committee has the time to do that. And
No, I
you guys
agree, it might
don't.
be worth asking him questions, I'm not saying that, it's something we have to review.
Just one more thing, if I may.
Mhm.
I think the next thing we gotta focus on is where we could potentially get sued. And where you're gonna get sued, and the chief knows this, is where the prisoners are and where the public comes. That's the most likely place. So you gotta make sure that area where we bring prisoners in is safe. And you gotta make sure the area in the front where the public comes in, because those are the areas that you're gonna someone's gonna come after you if they fall down or something bad happens. How about the back, though? Where the prisoners come in is,
It's been like that for
it's,
7 years I've been there, so,
Well, I mean,
but
it'd
it
be-
has to be, it's more than just a quick fix.
I know that,
Right,
right. Someone's gonna go down.
Yeah.
okay. Well, one step at a time, I guess, right?
So can you send us a list?
Yes.
Thank you. And, I'll check with the clerk and Anthony about the, drawings. Anyone else before we adjourn out of this meeting?
When are we gonna meet again?
Well, they should be done, what did she say, by the end of the month, so,
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were gonna talk about plans or anything like that before.
do we wanna, I don't know what meetings meet on what Thursday, but maybe like March 14th, and then that way you should know who has the plans, and maybe,
Yeah, we just can start talking about that.
does March 14th work for everyone?
So
Sure.
far.
Yeah, it should work so far.
I mean, if we have to go up in the conference room or something.
So March 14th at 6:45,
Yeah, does that work?
John?
Yep, I'm looking right now. Yep.
Okay. All right, so our next meeting is March 14th at 6:45. Room to be determined.
Okay.
All right, anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Everyone in favor?
Oh,
Aye.
Is there a second? Aye.
aye.
All right.
Okay.
So we're still going? Okay. All right.
I'm just uploading the Zoom meeting.
So we're good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, North Smithfield Town Council meeting, February 28th, 2024. Roll call, Mr. Biragad,
Yep.
Ms. Hamilton,
Here.
Mr. Ogier.
Here.
Ms. Alves, okay. Discussion by council vote or other action on immediate improvements to North Smithfield Police Station. One, payments to Dubon Masonry and Construction. Application number 2, application number 3, and application number 4. So they should be in your packet. And as you recall, we did already approve application 2, so I just put it back on because for some reason it was missed for payment. Application 3 is in here for payment, and it's signed by Rebecca saying that job has been done. And then application 4, which is part of the roof, and Rebecca has signed that. So all these are looking to be paid, and the only reason why we're doing it like this is just because this application 2 and application 3, application 3 is dated 1/31, and application 2 is dated 12/31. So the Dubon they're very much overdue. So I wanted to get these on so we could approve them again, and then the next one will be to authorize immediate payment.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve, I'm gonna do them individually.
Yep.
Application number 2 in the amount of $130,526. Somebody wanna
I'll
add
s-
these up?
Oh, you're gonna add them all up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Application number 3 for $33,137. Application number 4 for $210,425.
I have 374,088.
374088.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the 3 applications for a total of $374,088 to Dubon Masonry.
Second? Any discussion? All right, John?
Yes.
Paulette? Doug?
Yes.
And 4-0, okay, and Claire's absent. Okay. All right, perfect. And the next one is discussion by council vote or other action on authorization to have the finance director proceed with a special check run. So I just want to have a motion to approve this check run in the amount of $374,088 to Dubon Masonry, to be cut immediately tomorrow.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
John,
sorry,
Paulette,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Okay, thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.